Hey everyone, it's Bethany and welcome back to this book nook. I promise I have not forgotten about you. I have forgotten a hair tie though. Sorry that I haven't been making videos. Life, specifically school, has been hectic. If you're unfamiliar with the New Zealand schooling system, basically we have 4 terms and they follow like the seasonal calendar, and our big school holidays happen over Christmas, which means that I'm currently in term 4. Now this, also I'm like chopping my fringe. Multitasking. As a high school teacher, this means a number of things. Number 1, I've had seniors wrapping up their final assessments before they go on exam leave, and when I tell you the paperwork and administrative stuff you've got to do behind the scenes, as well as pushing the kids to submit their last assessment, plus marking, plus following up on the kids who don't submit, the brain power and energy it takes is unparalleled. Okay, that's probably a lie, but it takes a lot of energy. I really should go to a hairdresser's, and I have been saying that for like the past year. Okay, we've got one side done. But carrying on, basically it took so much energy, and what happened is I genuinely tried to start vlogs like 4 times. I've got the videos of me starting. I even went to the library trying to do a theme reading vlog based off TikTok hyped books again, because that was a huge success. But I've just come home and had no energy to read. No energy, no motivation. I haven't read. I haven't finished a book in at least a month, and so I feel like there's been nothing to report. I haven't come home and done any moving stuff. It's honestly just the high school teaching job always has to come first, because it's what pays my bills and feeds me, and I'm also responsible for hundreds of kids. No understatement, no exaggeration there. That obviously has to come first, but I've also had like nothing to report on. I've done no moving, I've done no reading. I've literally come home, update, we've got a Switch, and just playing Stardew Valley, escaping into video game instead. Oh, it's all in my eyeball. How are we looking, guys? Be honest. However, I'm filming this update now because everything has kind of come to the peak and we're going to the downhill. It's less than 50 days before we move. I think we have 4 weeks-ish until we leave this place, and then I'm going to my parents for a couple of weeks. So, like, I'll be there. I'll be at my parents' house for a few weeks after a few more weeks. I think we're done here. It doesn't look too bad. I can fix it in the morning if I change my mind about that in the morning. But yeah, things are starting to speed up a little bit. Today I applied for a few more jobs. Unfortunately, the job hunting is not going very successfully for me because, and I think I've vented about this, to get my registration recognised over there, I need to get a form of identity. Well, I need 4 forms. I've got 3. The 4th form that I need is an Australian form of identity. I can't get that till I'm in Australia, so I'm applying for jobs being like, I don't have my registration, but I should as soon as I get over there. There shouldn't be a problem. I've had no issues with the police or children or anything creepy like that. So that's the thing. Oh, I need to get a pillow cover for my pillow. I'm going to insert a picture of us figuring out how many boxes we needed today by putting some twine out on the floor for the measurements. As well as I went through my wardrobes again and got rid of more clothes. Everything is currently fitting in there and there. So still heaps of clothes, but I think we'll be alright. I'll keep culling them down. But that's just my little update, guys. I am definitely still intending on vlogging the whole process. There's just been a lot of work going on. Your gal has just gotten home from week 5, day 1 of term 4. There are only 7 weeks this term of students, and I'm excited to be vlogging again. It has officially become summer. It is so hot. Let me just oh, that door was unlocked. That's not great. Oh, let me just fresh air. But we have just started to sort out moving. You can see the little strings on the floor there still from yesterday when we were figuring out how many moving boxes we would need. I also have not read anything, like finished a book in the past month. I can't even remember the last book I finished. But I'm picking up the phone again to continue vlogging because things are going to start picking up again. Do you remember the last vlogs where I was trying to list a couple of things on Facebook Marketplace every day? Well, I'm going to start that up again because it's time to get rid of more stuff. This morning, the weather app told me to wear only one layer of clothing, but I doubted it, so I wore pants. But it's time to take the pants off and turn this top into its alter ego of dun dun dun. Hang on, you got a mini dress. It's actually a dress. Psych. And I'm going to read Outlander. Let's read the first sentence together. I'm actually really excited. This is good. I haven't read in so long. I love a library book. I know it's a bit kind of grotty there, but I love a library book that is so broken in already. Some acknowledge. Oh, and the pages. Oh, that feels so good. Okay. Inverness, 1946. A new beginning. It wasn't a very likely place for disappearances, at least at first glance. Huh. Is this a mystery series? Oh, Claire is torn between two different men in two irreconcilable lives. Okay, interested. I also have a pimple. We're gonna ignore that. Hi everyone and happy Wednesday. Sorry I gotta get myself back into the world of vlogging, but I'm coming into the bedroom with my chips. Hang on. To get the book. Oh my gosh, my life flashed before my eyes. Okay, come on. Who else is impressed at that catch? I have hot chips because the school lunch was not enough food for me today, so I needed more. But whilst I get myself sorted, reading update, I'm up to page 90. It looks like I've hardly made a dent. Up to page 90 of Outlander. Oh, I also need a drink. And my thoughts are this so far. Very slow to get started, to be honest. I thought that there could have been a lot more interesting. Look at our fridge, by the way. It was just slow. It was just slow. I wonder if I can mix lemonade with. No, I'm not. That's too sticky. I regret touching that. Sorry. Let me gather my thoughts. I feel like lots of people know Outlander, whether you've watched the movie or read the books or read and watched both. However, I have not watched the movie because I am one of those people who is adamant that I want to read things before I watch them. I will literally put off watching a film unless I have read the book, even like 5 years after it's been released. But just in case you don't know, this is about a woman, I actually don't know her name, Claire, I want to say maybe? Who has at this point in time gone back in time, and it is in Scotland when the British and the Scottish are at war with each other. One of the English turns out to be, I'm going to call her Claire, hopefully that is her name, is Claire's husband's like great-great-great-grandfather, and she's been rescued from him by the Scots of the time. Now, I don't know much about history, but there was a little prelude that basically implied it was decently historically accurate in terms of like what was happening with the fights and stuff like that. So I actually think I'm going to learn quite a bit. But now I am 100 pages in, I do really want to keep reading. I also am just going to let you know, Titus's birthday today, and he's not here. He's got work for another hour perhaps, and then he stays at his parents' on Wednesdays because then they have football. He's part of a summer football team, which he loves. I'm so happy for him because he doesn't get out of the house much socially otherwise, except for work, which I guess is the same as me. Anyway, and FIFA World Cup starts this Sunday, and it's like his favourite thing ever. He will literally stay up all night watching it and sleep during the day. He will completely change his lifestyle to watch every single game of FIFA, and I support that. Nobody make fun of him, it's a passion. So what I'm going to do for one of his birthday presents is create like an advent calendar, but for FIFA. We're not very Christmassy, and you might remember the advent calendar we did last year. Well, we're trying to save money for moving overseas, and none of us really want the stress, the burden of having to lug stuff across to Oz with us, so we decided no Christmas presents this year, which suits me perfectly, suits him perfectly, but because it's his birthday, I am going to treat him a little bit because I can. And what I've got here is beers, and there's like crisps and more drinks, and there's more stuff down here. I'm going to create him little goodie bags that I'm going to do before he gets home, but for now I'm hungry. I'm going to eat my chips and read my book. Yeah. Okay, it's been like half an hour. I read more. It's getting really good. And by that, I mean, I feel like I'm getting to know the characters more. I popped a pimple. And with all that information nobody needed, let's create Titus's little goodie bags, because I love giving people stuff. Okay, right now I'm going to say sorry for the mess, and then I'm not going to say it again because this is a lived-in house whilst we're trying to move still. So anyway, I have these good old cardboard brown paper bags from the $2 shop. And the idea is I need 28 of these, so I have 30 bags. And there's going to be a drink and like a snack or goodie in each one. And they're all going to be random. So I got 6 alcoholic. I know that's not how you say alcoholic, it's just how I say alcoholic. 6 alcoholic ones. From the... I made a stop at the English store and got him a pineapple Fanta, a Iron Brew, another Iron Brew because I know he likes them, and a Strawberry Tango. Strawberry and watermelon tango. I also have 6 Pepsi Max Minis, no sugar because the man prefers no sugar drinks. Ugh. And then the last drinks I got are these Sprite Minis. Okay, do I have 28? 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16, 18, 24. How have I messed that up? Oh. I've got another 6. So we're actually all good. These are ginger beers. Now for snacks, he's not much of a sweets person, but he does like a sweet now and again. So I have some Haribo gold ones, which I'm going to put in with, probably not the beer, with the ginger beer. So that's this one complete, and I'm going to tape it up. And there's his first little bundle. I was debating about numbering them, and I might do that, but we'll see. I also have 3 beer sticks. lot. M&M's in the like little sizes. Doop, doop, doop. His favourite like fruity chewy lolly, High Chews. And also have crisps, although I don't think I thought through the practicality of how these are potentially going to get squished, but I think we're going to do it anyway. There are 8 left here, which don't have like a savoury component. These all have a sweet, a drink, and a savoury. These all have a drink and a sweet, but no savoury. And it kind of bothers me. Okay, the bags that don't have anything savoury in them, I have put in here, and I'm going to hide this shopping bag somewhere. I don't think he goes into the cupboard in his games room because it's empty now. Okay. I don't think he has any reason to go in there. And then basically once he's emptied some from the fridge, I will refill them with those ones once I get savoury things in them, because in the fridge, I've rearranged, I've put his busies in. Look at this. Do not open until this Sunday. And then, ugh, managed to stuff a bunch of them in here. Oh. Ugh. Hey guys, I've got some books that came in the mail that I'm going to share with you all. Also, I just want to say, sorry, this vlog has definitely been bits and pieces-y. Basically, it's Monday right now. I'm so sorry. Vlogging is like a habit and I just am getting back into it. Work just got a lot busier. Well, not a lot busier. It stayed busier than I expected. And so I didn't vlog much, but that's all right. I'm going to film this clip and tell you how I feel about Outlander, because I did finish reading it. But first of all, I'm sure you're intrigued as to what books I've got here. Let's start with one I'm really excited about. This is Rupi Kaur's Healing with Words. All of these, by the way, except one, which I'll mention, are from Harper Collins, so thank you, Harper Collins. But all of these are... This one's Bethany. So this is Rupi Kaur. Now, if you have been hanging around for quite some time, you know that I actually don't really like Rupi Kaur's poetry. However, I am an avid journaler. And this I requested as soon as I found out it's like a journal. And I also quite enjoy writing poetry, so it's a really cool, like an activity book. And then also the teacher in me finds some of these really cool prompts. For example, some of the things she gives you are drawings and a little prompt. Like with this drawing, it says, take some time to examine the following drawing. And then I think it's on the following page, it says, now write about what this drawing brings up for you. So this is like a little journaling exercise. And there's like, it's one of those books that you can kind of write what you're feeling and burn it later kind of thing. It's like it's healing through words. So I'm really excited to delve into this. I will admit I received this quite a while ago, and I started doing one activity in it, and then I realised that I kind of wish I did it in my journal rather than in here, just so that I could use this for teaching, things that are relevant and, what's the word I'm talking about, relevant and like, you know, applicable, reliable, appropriate for teenagers. And the next one I got is Nazi Billionaires, and I will be completely honest with you guys, I requested this one because I thought my mum would like it, and Christmas is coming up. However, I am still genuinely interested, and I will get around to reading it and reviewing it myself, but then I will give it to my mum for Christmas. This is the dark history of Germany's wealthiest dynasties, and I always admit to history being one of my weak points, and the easiest way for me to get history in my brain isn't by reading like articles and stuff. It's by reading books. And whilst this is still non-fictional, it's real, it's sounds like it's going to be written in a way which is kind of like a novel. There's also images in here, which I always appreciate. So this is a groundbreaking investigation. Sorry, I've got like a mozzie bite on my ankle and it is so itchy. This is a groundbreaking investigation of how the Nazis helped German tycoons make billions from the horrors of the Third Reich and World War II, and how the world allowed them to get away with it. So it's 1946, and Gunther Quandt, the patriarch of Germany's most iconic industrial empire, was arrested for suspected Nazi collaboration. He claimed that he'd been forced to join the party by his arch-rival, and basically, ever since all this stuff went down in the laws, all of Quandt's, what do they say? His hair, I struggled over this word, his heirs have basically grown into billionaires. And so it looks like it's looking at how Nazis grew their wealth, but also today, the impact of it on some of today's people, and the global economy and stuff. So I think that will be really interesting. It isn't too long either, just over 300 pages, so it should entice me the whole time. Next up, we have Halifax Transgression, which is quite a difference to the book I just shared with you. This is a young adult science fiction novel. Honestly, it sounds a little bit like it could be like older middle grade to early young adult. Young adult spans such a range of potential audience ages. But anyway, this is about murder. So there's a violent and ritualistic murder that happens in the victim's home, and there's like hardly any clues. However, the police know is that the murderer / serial killer uses elements from the victim's own lives. For example, the first person was an artist and they were impaled on one of their own priceless sculptures. Okay, I'm saying that out loud. Definitely not like a middle grade. This must be too violent for middle grade. But basically, it's a murder mystery, and there's something about the killer that intrigues our female protagonist, Jane. And yeah, I say sci-fi because it looks pretty futuristic-y, but that just might be me reading into the cover a bit much. And a further kind of 180, although I suppose to do with death, this is a young adult contemporary, which I have not read in a very long time. This is about a girl called Tiger, and basically her and her mum are best friends, and then suddenly, absolutely out of nowhere, Tiger's mother dies. And basically she being Tiger has to learn how to live her life again. That's literally all it gives me, like 3 lines in the blurb. But I was actually recommended this one by the person at Harper Collins. She thought I might like it, so I was like, sure, flick it my way, I will give it a go. Lastly, we have Naviro. So this is one that isn't from Harper Collins. This was actually a birthday present from a colleague. So this is going all the way back to Bloom in September. And this is definitely a sci-fi. And honestly, it sounds like the kind of book that people who loved... oh my god, this mozzie bite is driving me insane. I need to go find some cream for it. This sounds like if you enjoyed... Oh my god, what is that trilogy called? I keep wanting to say Illuminati, but that's not it. Illuminate, the Illuminate series. You might like this. It's from the perspective of Tia. She's on some sort of ship, and like spaceship, and the spaceships are sentient. And then Tia... it honestly sounds kind of confusing in the blurb. I'm not going to lie. They could have done a better job explaining the blurb, I think. But Tia basically is in a sentient ship. But her sister's shuttle had been sucked into like a space whirlpool, and Tia's like the Academy's best navigator, so she was part of the rescue fleet. But then she learns that her estranged mother is leading the rescue using an alien spaceship. So there's suspicions. There's not a great relationship between mother and daughters, I'm assuming here. But I really love, and I know this is why my colleague was drawn to it too, by this cover. So I'll definitely get around to that. These are the books, as you may recall, that I have left. I've got a bunch of books that I have packed away and taken to my parents' home. One of my jobs in the next vlog, I think, is I'm going to seriously like clear all of this out, sell the last bookshelf. We're moving out of this house in 4 weeks, I think. So I really want to continue making some good progress. But yeah, I've got these books here and I'm not really wanting to read any of them. But as you know, I did pick up Outlander and I have finished it. I'm really sorry I didn't vlog any of it, but I do find with long fantasy novels where like it was long, it's like over 800 pages. Oh my god, I'm still scratching my foot. I do find it quite hard to talk about books like that because I don't want to give anything away. I'm always so aware of not spoiling anything, and so when books have twists and stuff and I really want to talk about them, I can't. Let me know if you'd be interested, if you find it this far in this piecemeal of a vlog. Thank you. Please let me know if you would like me to give like spoilery thoughts in my vlogs, as long as I like give warnings or something, because yeah, it just might be, it would be useful information for me. In fact, I might throw a survey up. I think I can do that. But yes, anyway, Outlander, I definitely gave it 5 stars. I believe I was telling you guys it was quite slow at the beginning, and it was. However, I decided I liked it because it suited the pace of the time period. Claire went back in time, I think to the 1700s. It could have been earlier, actually. Surely it was actually earlier, 1400s. I actually cannot remember the date. So it kind of, you know, met the time period where everything was a bit slowed down. And I loved the love story involved. I loved the bits and pieces to think about. Sorry, that made no sense if you have no idea what I'm talking about. She has this whole internal psychological kind of battle to deal with, being someone from the future coming to the past. Like, how much do you tell people to protect the ones you love without wanting to alter the course of history, which could of course impact the present, well, her old present, their future. And yeah, I loved the romance. Very spicy in places. I can see why it's quite a popular series. Definitely some good men written through the female lens. The Scottish Highlands, really, really well described. It is definitely a book where it's a woman who is strong for her time. Like, Claire is strong for her time. She's knowledgeable. She's rare for how women were back then, you know, at one point. See, I can't say stuff. But, you know, it's during witch trials and stuff. And so there's questions about that. But there is definitely, like, the men had to save her, which I'm not mad about, but considering the time period, you know, you can't get all feminist in a time period where those thoughts weren't ready to be thought. No. I guess what I'm saying is it was rare enough that a woman was educated to the level where she could be a physician. Back then, not saying women couldn't be smart, but basically, team, I'm just going to say this is the vlog. It's Monday. I'm going to start a new book. I'm going to start a new vlog. I'm going to do some moving stuff in the upcoming vlog. But I really want to make sure I do keep getting vlogs out to you guys. So sorry, and thank you for understanding all the little like piecemeal videos that this vlog has been made up of, and for the gaps between vlogs at the moment. Life is hectic, but I am so excited for Auckland, for Australia, and yeah, I'm gonna sign off. Apologies again, but I'm also, you know, you're getting this vlog. Okay, I'm doing the best I can in the time. I'm gonna go like douse my feet in itchy bite cream because this is ridiculous, and I will see you in the next vlog. So enjoy all the places you go on your own reading adventures, and I will see you in the next one. Bye bye.